we begin today, the counseling office has asked me to get some information from you. How many of you have made plans for after graduation? Okay. How many of you made no plans? No plans at all, Ruth?
Not really. I have a summer job lined up. After that, I'll just wait around and see.
Well, you better not wait too long. Come on now, hasn't anybody made any plans at all for graduation?
I know I want to be a secretary.
That's fine, Linda. How about you, Carol?
Well, I guess I really don't know either, Miss Calvert. I think I want to do some kind of office work, but I'm not exactly sure what.
Well, in that case, maybe you should talk to one of the counselors. They might be able to put you into a career education program, and maybe that would help you make up your mind.
No shorthand, I see. Type about 35, 40 words a minute.
Well, when I spell the words right, it's really closer to 30.
And you get pretty good grades in math. Well, we're cooperating with several companies in a career education program. That might be something for you.
Is that where you go out and work after school?
Well, you do a little work, just enough to give you an idea of what the job is all about. Actually, you'd be more of an observer.
Oh, so that in one place I'd be watching what the secretaries do, and then in another place I'd see if they did bookkeeping or something like that?
Something like that. You wouldn't get paid for it, but you would get class credit for it. Does that sound like something you might be interested in?
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Okay, I'll tell you something.
My counselor told me a lot about the program. But even so, I was kind of nervous when I got to the first place. I didn't know what to expect, especially from the people.
Good morning. You must be Carol.
Yes, Carol Jansen.
Fine. Come with me,
But
please.
Mrs. Lewis, she was the supervisor of the section I was assigned to. She was very nice.
I'll take you up and you'll meet the girl. Girl?
Usually there were 4 clerk typists in Mrs. Lewis's section.
Carol Jansen.
But right now, one was on vacation.
This is Teresa.
A couple of them were about my age.
And Burma. And this is going to be your desk, dear, so make yourself at home and I'll be right back with work for you to do.
I didn't have too much trouble with the straight typing. It was just like the classes at school. But some of the handwriting I got was like secret code. I wonder where they went to school. I had the same problem with some of the dictation tapes. Even when people know what they want to say, typing from tapes is always slower.
The format's good and the copy is clean. No big erasures or anything like that. But this word and that word, they're both spelled wrong.
Oh, I see they are, but I know how to spell them both.
I don't doubt it. I'm sure they're both typographical errors, but it's really up to you to check your work before you turn it in.
Well, I was just trying to keep up my speed.
I know. But if your typing is not accurate, it doesn't matter whether you do 1 word or 100 words a minute, now does it?
No, I guess not.
Well, don't worry.
Filing is easy, if you know the alphabet. But if you let your mind wander and misfile something, then somebody's really got problems.
This is an order from Beckman and Company, but it's directed to Paul Stern. So who should I file it under, Beckman or Stern?
Well, that's a good question. Let's see it.
Running errands was kind of fun. I used to think that if you worked in an office, you had to be a secretary or something like that. Now I see what they meant in school, about there being so many different kinds of office jobs. Hi.
Hi.
Mrs. Lewis said this has to go out by messenger right away.
Okay. You new in that department?
No, not really. I'm here on a career education program.
Oh. You, sure you can find your way back?
Oh, sure. Well, maybe you better show me which way to turn after I get by the accounting department.
All right. My name's Ken. What's yours?
Carol.
Before long, I'd caught on to the job and all the office routines. They had a rule to cover everything, and everything was run strictly by the clock. Oh, they had good benefits, and that's important, I guess. But I wasn't sure if a job like this, in a big company, was right for me. My next assignment was different. This was a small company of about 25 people.
And there's a number. Okay? You try it now.
Good afternoon, Bradley Products. I believe he is. May I ask who's calling, please? Okay, Mr. Corman, could you wait just a moment, please? Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Corman.
Working the equipment, logging calls, and so on. Even the way you talk to people. Oh, that was easy. The big difference was that here, there were a lot of situations where you had to think for yourself. Sometimes things got a little tense.
Norm Platt come back from lunch yet?
Not yet.
I'll sit here until he comes back, if you don't mind.
But mostly they came out okay. I just tried to treat people the way I'd like to be treated. And usually that seemed to work. The main difference between a small company and a big one is that here, nothing is completely cut and dry. For example, Barbara's the receptionist and the switchboard operator. But plenty of times she does copying and mailing, or helps with the typing.
Hi, Mr. Bradley.
Things are a lot freer in a small company. I mean, here I could kid around with the president. But somehow, after all those phone calls and all those visitors, I began to think that dealing with the public all day was not for me. In my next assignment, the public was all on tapes and punch cards. This company provided all kinds of computer services. I'd worked with the key punch and the data typewriter a little in school, so I felt all right at first. But after that, I started getting kind of lost. And I didn't think I was going to get very much out of my time here. Anyhow, I kept asking questions, and after a while, data processing began to make sense to me. I got pretty fascinated by the whole thing.
Okay, Carol. Now take tape 2811. You can look up the subject matter here in the white cards. Here you go.
Maria, the tape librarian, is taking night classes in programming so she can move up to a better job. She told me that before long, computers will replace most of the business machine operators and even file clerks. She says this is where the future is in office work. For most girls I know, this is the future, being a private secretary like Marilyn. The pay is good and the offices are nice and all that. But you don't get this kind of job unless you're really good. Fast, accurate typing and shorthand are just the beginning. You've got to understand your boss and his work so well that you sort of know what he's going to need, almost before he does. And you've got to be able to handle a lot of important things without being told what to do next.
And, Marilyn, answer this one right away. Tell him definitely no, but make it sound a little bit like yes.
I found out that a good secretary has to be more like your boss's assistant, besides doing all the routine office jobs.
He wants to speak with you, too. Now, if you'll tell me what time you'll be free this afternoon, I'll be sure and have him return your call then. Around 3?
And she has to be a real diplomat, too. But she gets good raises and even gets to travel sometimes.
Right, goodbye. I have a meeting 10:30 tomorrow in Cleveland. Will you get me on a flight out here tonight? And make that a dinner flight if you can. And give me a different hotel. That last place was terrible.
Yes, sir. Well, Mr. Donahue will be out of town until Wednesday evening, Mr. Fleischer.
I want to do. I mean, I like people okay, but, well, I guess I found out that I just don't like having them breathing down my back all day. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, there's nothing to be sorry about. That's why I'm here, and that's why we have programs like this. Now, did any of the other jobs seem interesting to you?
Well, don't laugh. But I really like data processing. It's not easy work either, but I really liked it. I don't know, I guess it's because it's a better atmosphere or something.
Data processing. It's very interesting that you should choose a field like that. You know, data processing is becoming more and more important in, well, all fields of clerical work. Would you like to know more about it?
Oh, I really would.
If you are interested in some aspect of clerical work, there are actually several hundred different types of jobs in the field. Your teachers and counselors can help you find out about opportunities, conditions, and trends where you live.